Nigel Inc. Limited is a company with range of clients from SMEs to Fortune 500 companies, over 20 countries and across all business sectors. The bespoke consulting company was set up in 2009 with the aim to create a successful presence for international companies in Africa and Nigeria in particular. The company helps clients to succeed efficiently by providing accurate and useful information about the market and its opportunities, creating sound and tested strategies, linking them with reputable local companies and stakeholders. It is also one of the most established trade missions organizers, often on behalf of international government trade agencies, and offer full back office support and turns key business implementation services as well. In 2019, Nigel Inc. facilitated 1,500 plus business meetings, helping establish more than 250 agreements, partnership, conducted about 20 plus B2B market research studies, advised 75 plus companies on entering Nigeria, and set up 100 plus individual meetings itineraries. The managing director, Nigel Inc. Limited, Thessa Brungabagus, now joins me via Skype from Lagos Island. Now let's talk about it. It's great to have you on the show, Thessa.
Good afternoon, Tolu. Good to be here.
First, I'm going to ask you, I'm sure you're keeping safe with the COVID-19. How has it been?
Well, we thank God. Of course, we're now out of lockdown, more or less. It was a bit eerie to be in a big city like this that was so quiet, but we're all healthy, so I thank God.
Great. Now let's go to how do international companies view Nigeria in the light of the pandemic?
Well, Nigeria was never for the faint-hearted. It's a bit of a difficult market. But surprisingly, perhaps, a lot of companies are now looking at Nigeria because they can't get their growth out of, say, the US or Europe. So they're looking to expand to new markets. And of course, Nigeria is one of the biggest countries in the world. And we are getting a lot of interest, actually, which is positive to see.
Looks very good. Now, what do you think will attract more companies to Nigeria, particularly as all countries globally contend with COVID-19?
You're very right. It's a big competition out there. So Nigeria has to be very competitive, which means it needs good policies and it has to be seen as a beneficial place of doing business. So, for example, the government regime has to, spread that message. But also we need to share more success stories of how international companies have done in this country and made it their home. And I think that will go a long way to change the perception of people about this country.
Very important, because we need investment in Nigeria. Tell us about some of the companies you have worked with. How has it been?
Well, like you said in your very good introduction, they've been very well spread around sectors, countries, sizes. A lot of Nigerian companies, when they do online banking, they would be using software from our clients. But also think of solar for chicken egg production, for the energy sources. Very recently, we had one of the world's largest energy players looking for a merger and acquisition target in key African markets, including Nigeria. So it's a very wide range. And more we see companies looking to offer, say, equipment or technical expertise that Nigeria needs to become more self-reliant and to build its own diverse economy.
Wow. Now, why would they ask your company for support when expanding to Nigeria? Why do they have to do this?
Well, Nigeria is not easy, as everybody who is based here can also say. One thing is it's difficult to find information, but also to get objective advice. So we would tell companies when they're not ready to come to Nigeria, but we would also tell them, like, well, you have a good proposition, but you need to work with a strong local partner. And you can't just go to the yellow pages in Nigeria. So we help them to find that reliable partner that can help them grow in a mutually beneficial relationship. So that transparency is something that my company can provide.
Oh, very good one there. Tell us something about your team. It sounds very interesting, and of course, operations.
Yes, well, I'm happy to say that most of our workers are actually Nigerians, even though most of them would have internationally trained and also worked. We're from 3 nationalities, so we understand where the clients are coming from, but we also very much understand Nigeria, and that is a key that we can link the international companies successfully with Nigeria. And our operations are very service-minded, very hands-on. We know that this is not a one-size-fits-all kind of environment. We can't just pull any kind of research or solution off the shelves. So we're very tailored to what the client wants, and also in such a way that the Nigerian economy, the Nigerian companies, will also be linked with a partner that can make them stronger. So we keep the interest of both clients and Nigeria at heart.
It's so interesting here when I look at the achievements made by your company. Now, COVID-19 is real. We all know it's no more news. And we see it's a new norm that we just have to cope with. How has your company been able to change with regards to COVID-19?
Well, apart from all the Skype, Zoom, whatever online meetings we're having to advise our clients, we're also going virtual in, for example, trade missions. So in July, we will have the first ever largest Turkish trade mission to Nigeria, completely digital. So that's exciting how that is developing. And at the same time, because companies cannot visit Nigeria at the moment, they need somebody who's on ground, who can be their eyes, their feet, their hands, whatever on ground. So we've become even more proactive to link them with Nigeria's opportunities.
Now, what can international companies learn from their Nigerian counterparts? I'm sure we also, Africa's most populous nation, we definitely have something to offer.
Exactly, and I really like that you're pointing that out, because it is not a one-way traffic. And now in this entire pandemic, what I would say, what the world can perhaps learn from Nigeria is grit. Nigerian companies are incredibly resilient, and they will fight and they will come out stronger because they have always dealt with so many challenges in this country. So look at the inventive way of how Nigerian companies are surviving and will grow even against all odds, like, for example, in e-commerce, in IT, in mining, and whatever. They are moving forward, and not giving up. That resilience is something that the whole world can learn from Nigeria.
Before I let you go, what more should we expect from Nigel Inc. moving on in 2020? We know this is a year of survival, but what more should we expect? Tell Nigerians.
I would say it's a year of growth. It's it gives us all an opportunity to change and be better, and to show where we can add value. So for us, this is not about survival. It's about reinventing ourselves, about growing, and about creating those mutually beneficial relationships so that the country and our company and everybody associated with us will grow. And that is my wish.
I see Tessa so optimistic there. Managing Director of Nigel Inc. Limited, Tessa Bagu, thank you very much for your time.